Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you about a great resource called GoSoapBox. So as you can see, GoSoapBox is a website that anyone can access from any type of internet accessible device. So if you go to your internet browser and type in GoSoapBox.com, this is the web page that you will get. So as you can see here on the website, that is the home page, there are some links you can click that will actually give you a tutorial on what the website is, who uses it, and how it's used. Currently, I use this resource as a teacher, and I use it in order to engage my students in some collaboration virtually instead of face-to-face. So if you were to sign up, you would click sign up, but I'm going to click sign in since I already have an account, and I can show you some of the ways that this works. So normally when a student clicks on GoSoapBox.com, this website is also very mobile friendly. So this is the web page that will pop up when you go to register for an event. That's what they call these pages. They're called events. Every event has an access code, which makes them private. So you would click here and type in the access code. For me, down here, I'm going to click sign in so that you can see what this looks like. So here is my email that's being used, my teacher account, that's what the Apple is for. And then you have a variety of events here that you can create. Now, this is all free, but if you would like to use this website or this resource for a larger class, you can order, I guess it's a larger class plan. You can also get updates on Facebook, but my school intranet does not allow Facebook, so you can see the little sad face there. It doesn't really pop up. There are some options down here, very basic, but one of the great things about this is that it's very simple. So you'll see the events that I have listed here. Today I'm going to show you this discussion that I put together for the Cask of Amontillado, so I'll click on that. A really nice feature is that everything is on one page. So I'll show you some quizzes in another module, but in this one there are only 3 basic things that you really use for discussion. And again, that's one of the great features of this resource. You have quizzes, so you can actually get some feedback and some summative assessment. Polls, which I'll show you in just a minute, and you can have a discussion through a thread. So for this one, the poll question was, in your opinion, what is Edgar Allan Poe's greatest achievement as a writer? So students, when it'll pop up, they'll get all the different options, and then I, as the moderator, can see the responses. Now you can set this up so that you can see the responses, just you as the moderator, or that everyone can see it. So if you click edit this poll, here's the question. There's a spot for extended description. You can load an image. So if you were a math or science teacher and you wanted to incorporate some type of map, maybe a history teacher, or some type of diagram, you could do that. These are the different choices. You can choose if you want it to be in a pie chart or a bar chart. This one, I selected results are visible to students so that we could use it for discussion, or you can put it so that students cannot see results. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to Event Dashboard. So those are the polls. You can create as many as you like, and again, when a student pops up to this page, this event for discussion, all of these things occur. So you'll see in the discussions, I have 2 open-ended questions. This second one, select a sentence that gives specific details, is a text evidence requirement for English language and English Common Core State Standards in grade 9. So these are some of the remarks that I got. You can see that I can see the names of the students who posted these, and there are many, 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 many here. But you also can set it up, if you click edit this discussion, so that everyone can see replies. I have it set to students cannot see replies because I wanted it to be an assessment. I wanted them to be able to just send theirs. You'll also see that I put an extended description, which is make sure to use quotation marks. So you'll also see here at the bottom that you can remove the discussion, or you can save, you can change some things, but you'll see again the extended description and then the question at the top. So I'm going to click cancel and go back. The last thing that I am going to show you about this resource, if you click moderate this event, you can see all the different items that you can change. I changed the access code to something funny right here. It doesn't have to be a code. It can just be a name, something that's easy for students to type in. You'll also see that I have names required so that I can grade my students' work after they've completed it. So there are different things that you can change. You can add a moderator. You can even remove the event permanently, which is nice. You can also export the data into polls or social Q&A so that you can keep the data. So the last part that I did not show you here were quizzes. So I'm just going to go back to my home page, and hopefully I'll be able to find one on here that has a quiz. So this one, the quiz is the warm-up. So if you click on quiz, you'll see that one person has completed it or is in progress to have completed it. And I have 3 questions on this quiz. So if you click on the first question, there it is typed in. I have choose the best answer. There are several choices. You can have more than one choice. You can have up to 5. The only drawback is that sometimes there is no more than 5 choices, so you are limited in some areas. But if you look at the bottom, there is a description for after the student completes the quiz, and it actually gives them more detail on why the right answer is the right answer. So this is extremely mobile friendly. It's a really great website. It's free. And it allows you to have discussions with students who maybe don't want to share out loud or in person. It's also a good way to work on your pacing. So if some students are ahead, you could have some activities on here for them to do. You'll see this is an anticipatory set. So I had students vote on a variety of polls, which is an activity that we start before a novel. If you click on it, you'll see that I allow the students to view the results of the poll, but like I mentioned earlier, they don't have to see that. So many different ways that you can use this resource. So how will things change in the future? Students will become more independent, which they already are beginning. There will be more of a shift toward hybrid courses or flipped classrooms, which is where the teacher pre-records the content or in some type of video or interactive or blend space wiki area where the students can encounter the content on their own, and then when they come into class they actually do the activities as part of the classwork. Another shift will be students are in charge of their own learning and choices of study, which they already are now, but there might be more of a shift toward high school mimicking college majors or at least any type of secondary school. So for example, right now some high schools will do like a pathway or a concentration that mimics majors. There will also be more of a shift with the use of own devices as ways to learn. So there are some initiatives where schools will have students bring their own technology to school, and they'll use those in their classroom instead of school purchased devices. Right now, more and more resources will be available as free online, which again already exists, but there will be a shift toward that. And also the shift towards digital print rather than books. The consequences of that will be that reading and language arts teachers are going to have to teach differing annotation skills. So annotation will be different depending on the mode of the text or the type of the text. So for example, if you have a digital text that's a Word document, you might need to use the comments on the side instead of annotations. How will things stay the same? There will still be issues with funding for education and for technology. So in order to access all these things, you must have internet access. Another thing that will stay the same is that instructors must be experts. They must know exactly what they are teaching and be an expert in the field in order to be an effective instructor. Standards will still be fixed, so there will be some type of standards that need to be met for each student or for each teacher. There will most likely still be issues between free and private education, whether that's with funding or access, something like that. And I believe that in the future we'll still have some issues with limited access to people who do not have these devices that have internet access, especially in poor communities. So in conclusion, GoSoapBox is a great resource that you can use to do some digital collaboration instead of face-to-face.